Welcome, folks, to Cake Ann at the newly refurbished Gloucester House at 63 Roger Street in downtown Gloucester for a special edition of Cape Ann Today Live. As always, I'm your host, Kory Curcuru, joined alongside Heather Atwood. How are you, Heather?
I'm well, Kory. So fun to be here in the new Cake Ann.
Yeah, one of our favorite places.
It was one of our favorite places before, and now it's bigger and better.
Yeah, and they recently made the move down here, and we've been frequent visitors.
We are here often. Yeah. If you're looking for us, you know where to find us.
Yeah, so we've been looking forward to this for a long time now, and so let's get right to introducing Inga McCarthy. She's the owner of Cake Ann, and a longtime friend,
and
Inga.
a longtime friend, yes.
Yeah. Well,
And we first met at the Rockport Farmers Market.
We did.
Right? In the very, very early days of Cake Ann.
Of June of 2015.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
did my husband buy the first Queen Amand ever?
I believe your husband was our first customer. Our second was Ann, who was just Ann Cahill, who was here.
Yeah,
So
I saw her. Big hug.
that was
Yeah.
always nice because I had everybody ask me, "Are you Ann?" And like we knew that they were not Cape Ann people, and so Ann volunteered. So she is our honorary Ann for Cake Ann. Yeah, when people don't know
Yeah.
that they're on Cape Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, congratulations on the move.
Thank
Inga.
you so much.
Yeah.
It's been really, really good.
So for people who haven't been here, there are tables. You can get a beautiful cappuccino latte. My favorite is the oat milk chai latte.
Yep.
And sit here and have a pastry and coffee and enjoy yourself and meet people. It's really nice.
Yeah, and you can look out at the water and you can sit by the fire now
Yeah.
and enjoy all of the holiday season's accoutrements, trees, and our poor little menorah who ran out of battery, but we have to replace that because we need to keep the lights on, and stockings and holiday season treats, all kinds of great things to get us through this season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
what?
it's we just have to emphasize, it's on the harbor.
Yeah.
It is
So you
on the water.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
could, on a nice day, and it's beautiful, it's just a little chilly.
Yep.
Get your coffee and pastry and stroll and go sit along the harbor.
Or you can also sit on our porch too,
Yes,
which
right.
is a little closed. It's a little chilly right now, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I myself forgot how actually beautiful the inner harbor is. It's just one of those things that I feel so happy every time I look outside and see sort of the rippling of the water. It's really lovely.
I just think this is one of the best things that's happened to the harbor, and I'm saying that to the Master Harbor Plan Committee people. So I think,
It's hopefully the sweetest.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, what's it like, Inga, having space to breathe now, and what have you been able to do with that extra space?
So it's different than I thought. I think the hard thing is that when you start or when you move or when you think of moving, you have this expectation, and it rarely ends up being what you think. It's really lovely to see the amount of people that walk in the morning with their dogs, the people who enjoy the harbor walk, just downstairs, tourists that are taking pictures with the fish out front and are coming in and are taking pictures of the anchors. I think the anchors are one of those things that we sort of take for granted if we live here. The amount of people that stand in front and take pictures of the anchors is just mind-blowing. So it's really nice to have that better connection with just people, the tourists, the people who are working on the harbor, that are visiting. It's really special. So
Yeah.
it makes me feel a lot closer to the community.
And we're going to talk with Lenny Quada in a bit
Yep.
about the transformation here at the Gloucester House and what they're doing moving forward. But you also, you have great neighbors here too.
I do.
Schooner Lannon,
Yes.
Seven Seas Whale Watch,
We can
Gloucester
throw
Boat
the
Rental.
wedding cakes over to the Lannon as
Seriously.
people are going out.
What is this place
Yeah.
going to be like come spring and summertime?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting, and it's just, trying to find different things that we can do to serve sort of the needs of people going in and out, making sure that people still have time to come in and sit down and enjoy themselves on their community tables. It's going to be really interesting to see. And once again, probably one of those things that I imagine one way and it's going to be totally different. But we're excited to be able to do something new, sort of, especially after 5 years where you feel like you're really sort of just getting into that sort of churn. It's been really nice and invigorating for us as a team, and also for me as a business owner, to try and figure out what sort of the next steps are going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. So Inga, you and I did a story a while ago
Yes.
on who you are as a baker.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that you come from some pretty serious. You have a pretty serious resume.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you let people know exactly what your baking background is?
So I went to the Connecticut Culinary Institute after I graduated from UMass. And they had a very small baking and pastry program, which was really great because you got a lot of experience. You worked in really small teams, you had to do everything, so it was really great. And then I worked in Danvers at Cakes for Occasions right when she opened, so it was also sort of learning a lot of things, sort of really changing a mindset from like baking one cake to baking 25 cakes, or frosting one cake to, you know,
Really important to learn.
really
that
important
stuff,
to learn, really important to say. Also writing on cakes, that was one thing that was really, my handwriting is absolutely horrible, but I have to say I write a beautiful happy birthday.
You certainly do.
And
yeah.
so it was learning how to write on cakes and doing all that. And then I worked at Biba's in Boston.
For those who don't know, Lydia Shire's restaurant,
Yep.
she was like one of the formidable top of the game chefs in Boston.
Yeah, and her pastry chef, Kellyanne Weigand, was also fantastic, really good about teaching and learning and sort of being really collaborative. So it was nice to be able to have that super high-end attention to detail, really focused on ingredients, education. It really was an education. So. And then I went and sold educational software for a whole bunch of years until I could finally sort of bring my own take, bring sort of family recipes and my mom's love of baking to Cape Ann, which really was one of the driving factors for us to move from Central Mass to Gloucester. So.
Oh, I didn't quite realize that.
Oh, and
that's
even
pretty
before
cool.
that, you're here from Brazil via Iowa.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Right? Or
Iowa via
but-
Brazil.
yeah.
Yes. So I can also bring I also try and throw in some Brazilian sweets in there because
Those little chocolate
those little
things,
chocolate
yeah,
things.
those are delicious.
Yeah, the moment I learn how to buy a good coconut again, we'll have the little quinjings. So, yeah.
So Inga, for someone who doesn't know anything about Cake Ann or
Okay.
hasn't been in here yet, what exactly do you do and your services and goods?
So I think what most people think is that we just have cupcakes. And what's been nice about the new space and the additional refrigeration, which has finally come in, because refrigerators are back ordered everywhere, is that we have cakes ready for pickup when you come in. It's not going to, we have usually a chocolate berry, a vanilla. We also have roasted veggie galettes. We have meat pies. We have some
love those.
savory items. We're doing quiche slices again because we have an opportunity to use our ovens and to have people sit down. And what else do we have? On the weekends, we have savory scones.
All the cookies.
Queen of Mine.
All of the
Queen of Mine.
cookies,
Yeah.
the Queen of Mine,
Queen
but
of
we
Mine.
have a lot of different items that you can sit here and eat or take home. Have a little platter for you today. We have Queen of Mine, which if you don't know what it is, Great British Baking Show, season 1, episode 7, like halfway through. I've gotten really good at that. And you can just have a little treat or take something home and treat yourself, or just have cake because it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Even though today's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also want to mention how I believe your frosting is the best I've ever had.
Okay.
So can you just talk a little bit about your frosting?
So we, I think baking and pastry people have sort of this very interesting comment on Swiss meringue buttercream versus American buttercream versus Italian buttercream, and we choose to use primarily Swiss meringue buttercream, which tends to be a little bit less sweet.
It's not as sweet as the
It's
American
very
stuff. Yeah.
silky, and it mixes in with things very well. So we can use one master recipe for vanilla, salted caramel, chocolate, Bailey's, chai, and so it gives us a really good
You have a
option.
chai frosting?
Yeah.
How come I didn't know that?
Because
David orders a cake.
because Heather's husband is a frequent visitor in the morning, and he's very regimented in his ordering. Although he did have some mince pies.
Yes.
Did they bring him home?
No. Wait.
Okay, so these unfortunately are where I feel like I am violating some sort of code.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
But
Because I can get the mince pies
yes,
myself.
you can get the mince pies.
'Cause
yourself.
I'm a mincemeat fan.
Yeah.
And Inga makes delicious
Yeah.
mincemeat without the meat.
So I try, and I try to do things like mincemeat, which are few and far. You can get little tarts, so you don't have to get a whole pie because it tends to be very polarizing, like the buttercream.
Right.
But we have to, now that we've moved and we have this whole other group of people, we're really sort of trying to educate people so they know what they like, because you really should have the frosting that you enjoy, even though
Right.
you do enjoy the Swiss meringue.
I do.
better.
But if people
Yeah.
want a sweeter version, you
They
can do
can
that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
we can throw fluff in it to make it even more sweeter, and then we throw peanut butter in it, so it's a fluffernutter. We have
That is
options.
such a good
Mm,
idea.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah, but it's really nice. It gives us a lot of different options, and we also have a really nice vegan buttercream. So if you need a vegan treat, we
do
can
you do
accommodate
that?
that. We use Flora plant butter, which is awesome, and they have a really nice plant cream, which allows us to make vegan pastry cream. So we've really been able to sort of explore different options as far as products and sort of expand our menu as well.
Nice.
Wonderful.
All right, what do you have going on for the holidays?
So for the holidays, we are in cookie heaven, which will turn into about cookie hell. And I think
shortly.
I have like 7 more days of cookie heaven.
Yeah.
And so we have little boxes of treats that are ready. We have little reindeers.
Yeah.
We have little cups, little gingerbread houses for cups and all kinds of little
Well,
treats.
you have to demo.
Yeah,
This is
gingerbread
great.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, so it might knock you in the face.
I think it's
Yeah,
adorable.
it's not very practical, but it's very
No.
cute.
It is so cute. And if that was coffee and not water, how much fun
You would
would
just
that
dunk
be?
right in.
Or hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
that would be really good
That
too.
would be really good.
So we're really trying. We did a lot of box treats last year, just really great for hostess gifts, for teachers. We'll have snowman macarons as well that we'll start working on today. So we really try and have lots of variety of treats for people to enjoy and to use as stocking stuffers or just gifts in general. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, and if people want to find you or contact you, how can they go about
Okay,
doing
so
that?
you can go to our website. It is kkn.com, no AME at the back. We're on Facebook, Instagram, very badly on TikTok. And you can always come and stop in at the front of the Gloucester House at 63 Rogers Street. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. We're closed on Monday. We have our new posting of our holiday hours. We're going to be open a couple Mondays. And then, and we will be here to help you with all of your treat needs.
How many bouches de Noël will you make this season, do you think?
Oh, that's a pained,
That's a whole day.
A pained expression.
That's a Monday's day of work where that's all we do, and then we roll them. We do a beautiful chocolate mousse bouche de Noël, and we also have a gluten-free version, which we'll have available. So I'll be posting our Christmas menu shortly. Yeah.
Well,
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Look
you for
forward to
having
all of
me.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks for being such a gracious host too.
Okay. Fantastic.
And,
Enjoy the rest of your show and.
Yeah,
will.
you'll be
have a
right
good
back
one.
there.
I'll
Yeah,
be
we will.
right
Yeah,
back
we might
there.
holler at
there
you
we
towards
go.
the end of the show.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Inga.
you. Have a great morning.
Yeah, congratulations
Okay.
again. That's Inga McCarthy. She is the owner of Cake Ann, the newly relocated Cake Ann here at the Gloucester House on the former function room. For the locals out there, or the old timers if you remember this spot, and it's redone beautifully. There's actually, they've added a bar here on the first floor, a giant square bar in the back. You can, I have been
Not
told.
Inga, but the Gloucester House.
The Gloucester House has.
added the bar.
But I believe you can actually order a drink later on in the
come sit
day,
here?
and then come here and sit down and have a cookie or cupcake too. And there's actually going to be a gift shop just on the other side of us here too, opening up shortly as well. So big things are happening here. We're going to talk to Lenny in a little bit. Okay, what you think? You've been waiting to talk to. We talk to Inga all the time.
We do talk to Inga, but no, I didn't get to have the buttercream conversation recently. I have not had that conversation, so it's good to have it again.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, our next guest, are you ready for us? Perfect. Is Gloucester Police Chief Ed Conley. He is a frequent guest on Cape Ann today. We're
And he's a
lucky to have
neighbor.
him. And a
because
neighbor.
The police department is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
How are you, Chief?
Nice to see you.
I mean, I'm following up after pastries.
Yeah, this is
Hard.
tough.
Pastries to policing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to be a tough one.
yeah.
Never mind, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Should be here. Now I'm starving. Wasn't hungry
Right.
until
Add all the
first
sweetening you have
interview.
to this interview, yeah.
Exactly.
But we have not seen you in person. We've seen you only on
Zoom, I think.
right? Am I right in the past?
Yeah, I
year
think
and a
so.
half? Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's great to see you in person.
Yeah, same here. Same
Yeah.
here. This feels normal again, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
does, yeah, to be meeting at a place,
Having coffee and chatting.
Correct.
right? Exactly.
And a beautiful place. I mean, I can't believe what Lenny did with this place.
Isn't this wonderful?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And again, I think it's just going to change in the summer to have a place to have just a little something to eat and stroll along the harbor is just so nice.
Yeah. No,
Right.
absolutely.
Set off the harbor.
So, Chief, what is going on with the department now as we, we're in the middle of the holiday craze now?
Sure. So this is usually our slower time, believe it or not, for us, right? So this is a time when we try to, we plan what we planned in terms of change, this is the time we try to execute on those plans. When things are slower, it's a less demand on calls of service typically because the summer crowd has moved on. So right now, what we're kind of focusing on is a renovation, believe it or not. The courthouse and the police department. We're in the final phases of planning. We hope to have a product to deliver to City Council for approval within the next weeks, maybe a month or so.
So this
that's
city council or the new city council?
probably tough to say.
Okay.
Tough to
yeah.
say.
If it's in a week, it'll be this one. Yeah.
Right, so probably the next one.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about that. There's a lot of work to be done still and a lot of planning to do, but I think it's like a lot of places, long overdue for this building. And,
When was the last time work was done in the police department?
I mean, it's been a little ad hoc. I mean, I don't think there's been a major renovation there since it was built. And what was that, the early 70s, late
70s?
60s?
Yep.
Yeah. So they've upgraded things here and there,
Right.
but there hasn't been a coordinated effort to truly renovate it properly. So new windows, new HVAC, ADA compliant, both in the courthouse and the police department. Just, it's going to be same footprint, same, pretty much the same design. Actually, we'll have our first sort of dedicated female locker room and bathroom. So
that's good.
That's nice. They have a locker room now, but we can do better.
How many women are on the force?
Right now, we have 2 full-time female police officers. We have 1 in our reserve program, so that she works dispatch, and you'll see her all working details, Olivia. And we have 2 female parking enforcement officers.
Right.
So.
Right. Oh, that's good. That's an interesting innovation since the 1970s.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, and the department's expanding slightly too. The community impact unit is about to move on to Middle Street.
That's right. That's a big move for us, and that was a great opportunity that was presented by the YMCA to us.
Ah, in their
So-
old space.
In their old space, not the
Not
the space
gymnasium
that was
part.
a gymnasium.
Right.
The part where I've been told people who've been here for a while may remember it as a furniture store.
Yeah, from way back.
From way back.
And I think originally the teen center might have been there before it was on Center Street too, way back. But yeah,
Right,
it was a
right.
furniture store for a long
Yeah.
time.
Right, so that's a terrific space. It's going to actually provide us, because the community impact unit is expanded. In addition to Lieutenant Castro and Tito Rodriguez, we have a full-time mental health social
Oh, that's
worker
great.
who does co-response and with us and does follow-ups for us, which is huge
huge,
benefit. And we are also looking to expand the SRO program. And the SROs are typically in the schools during the school year, but when they're not in the school, when the school's out of, not in session, they're still trying to engage. You may be familiar with SRO gaming.
This is the gaming
Yeah.
program, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
which was, a home
Huge
run.
success, right?
A
Yeah.
huge success.
Yeah.
It
Brilliant.
kept them so engaged with the students that they work with, so we didn't lose that rapport that they build over the course of the school year. So that gives everybody space, and it gives them privacy. If Tito wants to engage with someone and he's helping, he has now as a space to kind of bring them aside and have private conversations. Same thing with our mental health worker, Bree. She'll have a space of her own, and we'll have a training space there. But in the interim, too, while we do the renovations, it will provide us a location to have police operations continue, so we can be out of that building. That
Oh,
will
so
make
you'll
it.
have to be out altogether.
We don't have to be, but
Yeah.
if we are, it will speed up the process and make it more efficient. So we'll phase that. That's the plan right now.
Yeah.
I think we'll keep dispatch and the walk-in, basically the walk-in lobby. That will be as accessible there for as long as we possibly can, and then we'll have to move it, and we're still thinking about how that might look.
Right, because the CIU is currently situated at the Browns Mall, next door neighbors to us.
Right.
At
Correct.
the mall.
Yeah.
They're sort of tucked in a broom closet back there, so.
It wasn't a broom closet when they started, right? But now it's just like
It's
filled
filled.
with
Yeah.
things.
You got Ace in there hanging out. You have all the drop-off stuff.
Oh, the
One thing I
dog?
want to mention with the
Yeah, no.
holidays too is it's the charitable drives that the department's a part of. We know with the open door, you helped out with the work with all the supermarkets. There's usually stuff a cruiser is going on as well, and so people are always dropping off, whether it's bikes for kids for SRO or food or whatnot going on. It's always packed over there.
I mean, I couldn't be more proud of this department. I don't know of any, and I've worked for 3 other law enforcement agencies, and all of which were great departments, but this department's, in this community, I think, and the relationship between the community and the department is so much different. I mean, 87% of this department, born, raised, still lives in Gloucester. Their families live here. You know, it's funny that sometimes I'll, you know, like anything, we get complaints, and sometimes you hear the complaint of, you know, your officers don't seem to care about X, Y, or Z. I'm like, I don't know how that be possible because their families live here. Their kids go to school here. And you see that in the initiative they take when it comes to raising money, when it comes to, you know, coming up with, you know, the no-shave Novembers have turned into no-shave November, December, Januaries, and we raise money for a number of different, you know, charities, and I'm really proud of that work that they do. And this is all, you know, it's bottom up. That they're coming to me with these ideas. They're not my ideas. They come to me, and I think they do a great job.
Yeah.
So I have to say, on my way over here today, I passed a Gloucester policeman in his cruiser with a full beard.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. Is that the no shave?
It is.
December?
So we do 2 of them a year. We'll do one in around November, so it usually starts with a no shave November, and that's sort of a statewide, becoming a national thing. And the unofficial deal is they can keep the beard until the Patriots are out of the playoffs, or go to the Super Bowl. So once they're out, they're out. The beards come off.
Yeah.
And then we do something heading into the summer. And the reason behind the second one heading into the summer were twofold. One, it's been a very successful fundraiser for us for whatever charities, and they let them pick what charities they want to contribute to. But two, I get a lot of, you know, thank yous from their wives. They really like the change up. They like the beard. So
That's so
I've had a
cute.
lot of requests
Yeah.
from spouses
That's great.
to keep it going. So
Can
I
you
added
grow
a
a
second
beard?
one.
Because I can't. You can?
I can. I'm not quite sure what it would look like right now. So
Well, it's,
I never have. I think
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it that way.
you'll just write the check to your charity and leave it at that.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
well, I do. That's
Yeah,
exactly
I'm
what
sure
I
you
do.
Yeah.
I write the check and I say, don't look for my beard.
Yeah. Well, it was just so funny because I don't usually notice those things, but it struck me, and I thought I've never seen that before. So
Yeah.
that's that. But
Well,
that's
and we
all
get to
good
find out
reasons.
who can grow a beard and who
You
can't. And there's
sure
actually
do.
an award. They have a little internal competition, and
I
they
think
give
this
an
guy's
award.
going to win, whoever it was.
Yeah.
It was a good beard.
The Yukon Cornelius Beard Award. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That's very funny. Well, I have one last question.
go ahead.
And we spoke to Sue Coviello from North Shore Health recently, and I just have to mention the nationwide crisis of drug overdose deaths.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about what's going on with your department, how they're managing it, and what you're seeing? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think COVID certainly had a part to play in that. And we're seeing fentanyl, which is typically what's associated with these overdoses. We're seeing that show up in a lot of other types of drugs. We're seeing it show up in cocaine. We're seeing it show up in crack cocaine. We're seeing, it hasn't happened here, it's happened in Connecticut, but we've seen it show up in some marijuana, very small cases. So I think you're seeing, you know, fentanyl access increase. I think you're seeing it in more and more drugs, and that's a problem. One big thing that we did see here, we had a spike of probably about 6 months ago, was counterfeit pills. So we had a bunch of counterfeit pills that had fentanyl in it, and people were ODing, and they were, you know, these, when I say this, I always try to be very clear that these aren't pills that are counterfeit that make their way to your pharmacist. These are pills that people are trying to buy, you know, underground in the black market. This is not, no one's getting these from their pharmacist.
Right.
And that's been a spike. Now, how we respond to that, and this is where community impact is so important. I know Gloucester, before I got here, you know, they've had a long history of really being progressive in how they attack the opioid crisis. And when I got here, I didn't want to, you know, do that, or I didn't necessarily change it, but I wanted to actually embrace it, expand it, and create structure underneath it so that work will continue no matter who, you know, what names are on the shirts that go over there. It just continues and continues. And when we created that unit, I think you see, you know, they're left on their own to come up with these creative ways to problem solve. And, you know, Tito Rodriguez, I would argue, is one of the best recovery coaches in the nation. I mean, never mind, he happens to reside here in Gloucester, and was a great hire for us to be able to do that. And Tito's out in the, I mean, people from this community know Tito, because he's out on the street every single day and engaging with people and staying engaged with them. And I think that's the most important thing, because not everybody's always ready for recovery. It's a journey until you get there. And sometimes with recovery, there's relapse. And I think the most important thing we can do is not give up, and we just stay on, stay engaged, and try to keep people alive long enough that their recovery will be successful. And that's sort of the strategy.
Right.
And I think COVID really took a hit, was a blow for people trying to connect and stay connected and in their recovery process.
It's, I mean, I think, to me, one takeaway from COVID, one lesson learned, and one thing that I think we all appreciate now is that it's still very important for human beings to meet like this.
Exactly.
It's so different. And when you're dealing with someone who's in crisis, whether it's because of addiction or mental health, having a relationship and maintaining that relationship with somebody, it has to happen face to face because it's building trust.
Exactly.
Right? And so that's what not only the community impact, but I mean, that's their primary mission, but every officer in the Gloucester Police Department knows everybody here, and they know them. And that relationship, even if it's sometimes adversarial, it still can be brought back, and it's still about trying to build that, yes.
Yeah.
And you can't do that over Zoom. You just can't.
Cannot,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you quickly want to touch upon, now that we're getting into the cold weather months and there's a lot of people living outdoors at the moment, there's some problem spots in the city, and how the department is addressing those issues?
Right, well, it's interesting that you say that because where we're sitting now, many people may remember, Lenny Linquata stepped up last year and provided this space when a lot of the other shelters were shutting down or reducing the number of people. This year we don't have that problem. A lot of the shelters, not only here in Gloucester, but also our surrounding communities, are reopened. And the Gray Center here, of course, is an important one for us. There are many other shelters that are operated by Action Inc. And what our department's job is to kind of leverage all that. And so when we send community impact into the woods and engage, because last year we had the backpack process, so we're going to do that again this year. And one of the benefits of doing the backpack giveaway for people who are challenged with housing is that gives us a chance to engage with them. They come in, we give them a backpack filled with things we think would be useful for them, but then we know who they are, we ask them where they're living. They don't have to tell us, they don't have to engage in any of that if they don't want to, but they typically will. And now we have a sense of where people are at, and we know how to go out. We got a new community impact van recently, and now we can take the show on the road and kind of meet them where they're at rather than have them come over to Browns Mall.
Yeah.
So that's sort of our strategy, is to stay engaged. And again, I said it before, but it's community impact. That's their primary goal, mission. That's their primary responsibility. But all of our patrol officers do the same thing. They're all engaged, and it's about knowing who's who and where they are.
Great stuff.
Great, yeah.
Well, we really appreciate your time, Chief.
This is great.
Yeah, it's been
Great.
great getting to know you over the last year or two. It's great to see you in person finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is a lot more
Yeah, not
fun
just
than
through the monitor.
being on a
Yeah.
Zoom call.
So
for
we'd
sure.
love to check in with you maybe later on this winter.
Yeah.
Maybe we end up doing a show down at the newly renovated police station
That's
sometime.
That
Right.
that would be terrific. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks so much
Well,
for your
good luck
time.
with
Great. Yeah, and have a happy holiday.
Have a great holiday
See you.
season, Ed.
Okay.
Thank you
take
so
care.
much. Gloucester Police Chief Ed Conley joined us, as he has in the past several times, and has been a great help to us. Always shares a ton of information, so affable.
He's a great
know,
chief,
yeah.
and I love what he said about the department being, one of the best forces he's worked for, or
Yeah.
maybe the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great to hear.
Are we ready for Lenny? We're good?
Anybody ever ready for Lenny?
Yeah. Hey, Lenny, whenever you're ready. Not yet?
He's got to make his.
Yeah. He's got to do his handshakes and all that,
I guess
too.
Ed Conley trumps us.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, we are live from Cake Inn at the newly refurbished Gloucester House at 63 Roger Street in downtown Gloucester for another episode of Cape Ann Today Live, as we're going to have a few cool holiday editions of the show before 2021 closes out.
Yeah, we do. We have two more, leading up to the holiday.
Yeah. But first,
Good morning.
we are joined by the
How are
owner
we?
of the Gloucester House, Lenny Linquata. How are you, Lenny?
Good to see you, Cory.
Thanks so much for spending time with us today.
That's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, there's big things that are going on here, right?
Here
so,
we are again.
Yeah, I guess let's talk about, so why all the change? Why did you want to change things up a bit? And then how are things progressing?
I guess necessity is the mother of invention, and I think that's where we are. COVID changed the rules of the game, and we had a giant facility, and it was time to do something different. And this is something we had been thinking about for a while. Inga just happened to be the person that we were fortunate enough to to hook up with.
Yeah.
And this is great. She is fabulous. So how did I do it? Because the business was changing. And we're still here, and we expect to be here, and this is our community, and this is what we're going to do.
So for those who don't know, this business has been here for a long time. Do
Yeah,
you
we've
wanna
been here
give us-
since 1957.
And you want to give us a brief history of your family and this business and how it all went along?
Sure. My grandfather purchased the property in the 1950s, early 50s, when urban renewal was down. He needed a place to tie up his boats to do oil. And once he secured the wharf and they had cleaned up the property, they had to come up with a need for the property. So he asked my father if they wanted to go into the restaurant business. They went into the restaurant business.
This is
and
Michael.
My
Is your
father,
father,
Mike.
yeah.
And he was, we were in the restaurant business. And
And what were you serving? Fish?
Oh, yeah. In 1957, we opened up in September 57, and off we go. We were, the story of the Gloucester House begins. We were this old building in the front where you are right now. The traditional picture that you see probably of the Gloucester House at the time, that's where we were. And we were doing pretty well. And it went on for about, I'd say about 17, 18 years, and then we had a major fire. That was a big fire with the old building center. The old building center was in there, and it caused us to change ideas again. So we changed, and we began to, once we demolished the property, we began to work on the outside part of the property, or the further end of the property, and it became the cafe. And once the cafe became, then it became Seven Seas Cafe, and then all the foolishness began outside on the bar area, and then we went back into the restaurant business after we gave up the foolishness for a while. And now we've run probably for about 20 odd years, 25 years or whatever, and it was time to change. And we're getting older, and our kids don't want to work the way we were working before. It's not that they don't work hard, it's just they don't want to do what we were doing.
Right.
Well, we want to hear about
24/7.
your kids, but are you going to tell the story of the calamari?
Calamari was an easy one. There's a lot of other, there's a lot of other good
Okay, all
stories
right. Well,
there,
tell a
too.
good story.
So we went back into the business, and once we got in it, we realized that things were beginning to change. Our population was changing, our demographics were changing, but ironically, all those foolish fun and games that we were doing through the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, we created a tremendous amount of customer loyalty. And those 18-year-old kids, ultimately,
That was one of those.
those 18-year-old kids actually became older. And we got their christenings, and we got their rehearsal dinners, and we got their little functions, and eventually we ended up doing their mom and dad or the grandmother's collations. And we built quite a loyal clientele. And we were very fortunate, and it was just a fate. I've been very blessed. And who would have ever thought it would have played out like that, but that's how it played out.
Right. So now what components are being built out now? We have obviously the bakery up front. There's a
Okay.
gift shop, right?
So we're putting the gift shop in, but the intention with the gift shop is, as it stands right now, it's a gift shop, but it will eventually be a more marketplace where I'm going to bring in outside vendors, people up in town, over in Rockport, that have product that we're going to bring into our store, and we're going to sell it on commission. So we're going to sell their product on commission.
products we're talking
Nope, it'll be a variety from clothing to household goods to a whole bunch of different things. So it's really going to be a much more broad scope of items than we're dealing with right now. And ideally, once we're finished, we would like to have a whole prepared section, a food section down in here.
Yep.
And with the marketplace, we want to make it a destination. And looking at the way the dynamics of the community are going right now, there really isn't a specific location that you can say it's a destination for people to go visit.
There is not. You are right about that. And get a cup of coffee and a pastry and stroll and
And
meet
stroll
somebody
and do
just-
something and right.
Exactly.
And something for everybody. I mean, so we've been pretty lucky. Now that we have the Wicked Tuna boats, we're looking to put 2 more Wicked Tuna boats on this year, which would bring us to 4. Which is great, and it's a tremendous draw because people love. They just love the show,
Yeah.
but they really like the personality of the skippers,
Yeah.
and they're all approachable. I can't tell you how many days we come down here. There are just people lined up just to get autographs and photos and stuff. it's great. So.
So it sounds like that's working for you. But how
Yes.
about the fishing industry in general? You've had to navigate that, I'm guessing.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize we do is we're wholesale lobster dealers also. So we've been pretty fortunate. In the off season, we buy lobsters year round. We have a couple of boats fishing us right now. But in the off season, particularly November, December, and January, we really count on those offshore lobster boats to provide income for us to keep us going.
Oh, interesting.
So we're always moving product. I mean, we don't move a lot of product right now. We probably move between 5,000 and 10,000 pounds a week. But you know, we're a small operation. We're not a big operation.
Right.
So do you have a timeline for when all the other components will be ready?
by
I know,
the
first of all, the bar out back is gorgeous.
It is
It's
beautiful.
coming out great. That's still a work in progress too. We should be about another month or so doing some finishing touches there. We put some sound panels in and some more decorations. We want to get them in there. But we're about a month away on the bar. Even though we've been open, we're about a month away. Ideally, I'd like to have the marketplace up and operating by June,
Oh, yeah?
maybe May, so that people get an opportunity to take advantage of the summer,
That'd
and
be
then we'll
great.
just roll right into the winter at that point. Ideally, I had an illusion that I'd be able to do this before the holidays, and that wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen.
How about the Master Harbor Plan and, dare I say, climate change? Like, you're right on this harbor, and sea levels are rising. Do you think about that?
They do. When we built this facility, we've raised this facility up about 3 feet at the time. In retrospect, I probably wish that we had risen it maybe another 2 feet. But at 3 feet, we're in still pretty good shape. I mean, as I get older now, we see water on the dock all the time. All the time. When you see a flood tide, there is water on the dock all the time. But we're very lucky because of the elevation. We can actually go from the municipal parking lot right down into the building without having to deal with the water issues, which is great
Yeah, that's
at
good.
this point.
And are you part of that Master Harbor Plan?
I have been in the past. I'm not at the moment, but you know, from time to time, because of my big mouth, I interject. I interject, or I'll let my point of view clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Lenny, before we leave, any plans for the holidays here? Anything happening here, or anything you're doing personally?
No,
Do you actually get to relax for a bit, or what?
No. Go. We do the bell ringing for the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years, we have raised over $130,000. All that money has stayed into this community. We are looking for bell ringers. It is getting harder and harder to get people to ring bells. If there is one thing that the Christmas season should do, it is the season for giving, and all we're asking is for people to give us an hour of time to ring bell. For those people less fortunate,
So if people are interested in doing that, how can they go about?
they can just call the Gloucester House. They can work it at their own time. We're only using one location right now. We're only using the Market Basket location. So if it just gives us an hour, we'd be delighted. Just get up in there and take your kids up and get involved in the community. For those of us that have, it is just much more fulfilling giving to those who have less. It is the time of the season.
Beautifully put.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, Lenny, congratulations
Thank you.
on the transformation here. And I know it's a work in progress.
Always.
We all are, but I mean, it's exciting to see. And I'm so happy that Cake Ann worked out, especially this well. We were talking to Anger for a little bit. Can't imagine what this place is going to be like come next spring and summer.
I'm delighted. It is rather exciting though, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Thank
Lenny
you.
Lanquata, the owner of the Gloucester House, thanks so much for your time.
Thank
Happy
you, guys.
holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
All right, we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
We'll have to come back again
Oh,
and show
please
us different
do.
parts of the property.
I sort of
here
thought this was
tomorrow.
I thought this was going to be a regular event.
Yeah, it can be.
See, every Friday. Yeah.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Awesome. Yeah, it's I've already done dinner and more drinks than dinner in the back.
I've had
which
drinks
is-
back there.
yeah,
At
it's-
the bar.
that's
it's
beautiful.
Lovely. Yeah, it's really, really
Yeah, they've done a
nice.
great job.
Yep.
And like I said, if you haven't been down here yet, I mean, I know it's getting colder now, but there is outdoor seating. I mean, you're sort of
It's in front of us,
protected
right there,
somewhat,
yeah.
but you're also right next to Seven Seas Whale Watch and the Schooner Landing and Gloucester Boat Rental. And it's
Oh,
always
it's
a busy
beautiful.
spot down here too. So
And you look right down into the inner harbor, seeing the boats going by. It's beautiful.
yeah, it's the start of something special here too.
It
All right,
is.
oh, Lisa's here and Kristen. Nice. All right, come on over, ladies. All right, our next guests are Kristen Michelle and Lisa Lamont. They are part of the Gloucester Elves Giving Train, right, ladies? Yeah.
Kory.
Good to
Hi,
see you
I'm
again.
Heather.
This is Heather.
Nice to meet you, Lisa,
Kristen,
right?
This is Heather.
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
I love what you're doing. It's very, and so tell us everything.
Yeah. Who are you and what are these giving elves?
Well, Kristen came up with the name. We're the Cape Ann Giving Elves. This all started last year when I had this brainstorm to help all the restaurant workers that were all struggling because of COVID. Instead of people I did a post, instead of people complaining about you can't go out and eat and drink, how about think about the people that aren't earning any money and let's like sponsor a family. And I thought maybe I'd get a couple of donations, and next thing I know, Kristen, who I never met, reached out to me, and I had bags and bags at my door and toys, and we, 22 families, and I think we raised $2,000 in like 10 days.
Yeah.
And so this year, I reached out to him, like, what should we do this year? Let's reach out to maybe people that were impacted by COVID. And we also, Jennifer Amaro was part of it last year. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today. She had another obligation, and she's helping with this year. So we decided that we would reach out. Well, Kristen came up with the idea to reach out to the high school, right? And we reached out to Sabrina and the other girl.
So we worked with some students last year, and there was one boy, and they just reached out as sort of an offshoot to what Lisa was doing. We have a boy, all he wants for Christmas is a pair of sweatpants. That was it.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't have family. He just wanted to go to Marshall's with that gift card and buy his own pants. So we started noticing a need that it was easy to get toys. Everybody wanted to buy a toy and make a kid happy. But we had teens, and they had basic needs. Pants, sweatshirts,
Shirts.
warm hat, just simple things. But we weren't getting those things. And so we thought, well, who can we help this year? And we knew we wanted to help the teens. So we reached out to high school, to Sabrina Giordano and Amy Cam, and they said, oh, sure, we can put a list together. And here's Lisa and I thinking, 24 kids, should be no problem. We got an awesome Gloucester grant last year that sort of helped us get some momentum. And she came back with a list. It was 69 kids.
And we're gonna do sweatshirts because these kids need something to keep them warm. Well, you had already brought them coats and
I was
gloves.
going to say, why not coats?
Well, we
Marcus?
did,
Okay, you
already
that
gave them
Okay,
that, so
great.
now we're on to just, like, something nice to open for the
Yeah.
holidays. So, again, we do a post. You gotta love this community, nonstop. Well, I wanna buy. And like I said, 69 kids at the high school, 41 boys, 28 girls. We have all their sizes. And we have made now gift bags, and we're looking to completely continue to fill them. And this is a girl small. We got donations, so, and also Kristen came up with the idea, these kids don't really get to socialize because they don't have the funds to go out to lunch or something. So let's ask like local pizza, sub shop type places for like small denominational gift cards. So reached out to a couple people, Beth Gibley, that's opening up the new Bravo up the
Bravo,
street.
yeah.
She printed us up $150 $10 Bravo bucks, so every kid's gonna be getting pizza at Bravo.
All I can do to not cry.
Right.
I'm really having a hard
All
time.
right, yeah. Then Faye Popolo at the new Splendid up the street. Gift cards for shakes or teas. And then other people are just going out nonstop buying gift cards to all the local places so kids can socialize. Because like Kristen said, these kids don't have that,
That's free cash, that
right.
10, $20 to do
And
something.
then
Supports our
also,
local businesses
Businesses,
too.
and
yeah.
Faye Popolo used to work for Hairlines, Paul Mitchell Distributorship, and I used to be in that business, so I asked her, you think anybody have any samples around? Next thing you know, I've got bags at my door, and we're filling them with toiletries, and they also gave us samples, and the girls at Avanti gave me a bunch of samples yesterday while I was getting my hair done.
That's
Oh,
huge.
we got, if you saw my car right now,
Yeah.
it's
We have a
insane.
warehouse.
Oh
No
my
kidding.
gosh.
At the warehouse.
So
We
tell
did.
us how.
And this lovely lady, another Gloucester person, Wicked Happy.
See this?
Sorry, Wicked Happy donated sweatshirts and hat. There's a hat in there. So we're looking for more sizes of sweatshirts, toiletries, socks, Kristen said, okay, now let's go into
Pajama
pajama pants.
Good
These
idea.
kids, and keep the gift cards coming.
Right.
And last night at Ladies' Night,
Oh, right.
Renee Mitchell down at Super Cute Boutique had people bringing in gift cards, and if you made a donation, she was giving you $5 off to her store. She has a little basket in front of her cash wrap where you can drop off. We started to try to reuse, repurpose, re-gift something that still has the tags on it. So we did get this warehouse space, thanks to Eric McNiff up at Blackbird.
Yeah.
And we're gonna drop everything off up there, put ourselves up a little workshop and get all these 70 bags filled.
This is awesome. I know all these people
great.
you're mentioning too.
And
What a community.
What a community. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not, as you know, I'm not from here originally, but you just ask and you receive. And like I said, you partner with her and it's like, and another, Jen Amaro, she's got friends that just, donations, like I'm getting Venmos. I'm like, who are these people? Oh, my college roommate. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm getting Venmo'd, and we raised
Super
a good amount of
connected.
money, and we're gonna keep buying. We'll fill the gaps.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
just want them to make clear how people Venmo you or get these donations to you. What's the route?
They could like our page on Facebook, which is Cape Ann Giving
Giving
Elves. Friend me, Lisa Buccieri Lamont on Facebook. You, Kristen Michelle on Facebook. We're doing, right now, continuing dropping, they can reach out to us to ask what sizes. Right now, I can tell you, we're still in need of medium sweatshirts for both men's size and women's. Mediums are the only gap we have right now. And
You can stop
pajama
down to see Renee Mitchell. She has a basket there for gift cards.
Yeah.
Right at Super Cute. And she also has, she's gonna keep her basket up. So our goal is to get everything in within the next couple of weeks. And then the week before Christmas, we'll drop off all these bags for the schools to give out to the students.
And we still would like toiletries, because now we're filling, because we got that great donation from Paul Mitchell and Avanti Hair Salon, which is also Paul Mitchell products. We're, we're like, okay, what do we have for the boys? We're looking like for toiletries, body washes, soaps, things like that, toothbrushes, just like essentials, that we can just fill these bags with things these kids just really can't, that we take for granted that these kids don't have. You know, we just don't know how hard it is for these kids until you talk to people like Sabrina that tells you what her kids don't have.
Yeah.
So again, we're still looking for, now we came up with the idea to add the pajama bottoms, so we would love pajama bottoms, boys, men's or women's, small, medium, large, extra large. And we'll do drop-offs between myself and Kristen's house. My husband was real happy to empty the living room.
Do you see any possibility of helping these kids in the future? Because, right?
We have connections through the school, and we've created a network where if we work with the school resource officers a lot, and if they have a need, there was a person that was living outside, needed boots or a jacket. They text me, we figure it out, and
that's great.
we get something over to them. We've been using that Buy Nothing network through Facebook. We try to turn something around within 24 to 48 hours. So we've always had that network. We'll go down and see Jeremiah at the Community Impact Unit, but really we just have a little network. They tell us what they need between Mike Scola, Pizza Terra, or Jeremiah, and Tito.
Yep.
The people at the school now know, hey, I have somebody. We dropped off maybe how many dozens of pairs of gloves?
Oh God, I ordered 4 dozen pairs.
We dropped them off. The kids were just taking them, like we put them in a basket, so they don't have to ask.
And Sabrina has all the other two, they have like a closet, the coats in there, and the kids were like, we can just take them? Yep, take a coat.
That's great.
Yep.
That's
So-
great.
And one cool thing that happened the other day, so last year we did the restaurant workers, and then we had, we reached out to a lot of the restaurants that we said, just give me some names and we'll send out gift cards. We were sending out gift cards to Market Basket, Shaw's, and with all the donation money, that's what I was doing. I was just buying gift cards. And half the time I was just writing envelopes. I don't know who I'm sending them to. Just signing them, Cape Ann Restaurant Workers Angels. This woman dropped off 6 yellow sub gift cards the other day to my house. I've never seen it before in my life. And she said, I'm a server. I got a gift card last year.
Oh, wow. Full circle.
Paying it forward. I almost started to cry. I've never saw her before. She's like, I want to help next year. Please let me be involved next year.
Very nice. Okay, so once again, it's the easiest way. So Facebook, the page is it Cape Ann Giving
Elves.
Elves? Okay.
Yes.
So Cape Ann Giving Elves. So you can go there now if you'd like to. And then we'll share this. Of course, we're going to
Yes.
post this wherever we can. Get out there and help out ASAP.
Thank you.
Krista Michelle, Lisa Lamont, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your efforts too.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
It's our
Put this all
pleasure.
Thank you for
together.
having us.
Yeah,
Really
thank
great.
you. Happy holidays.
Same to you.
Get to go unload your sleigh.
Oh, yeah.
An amazing story.
Yeah, it really is. It's great work.
At least I'm sure I'll see you sooner than later anyway.
Yeah,
Do you want to tell people where you're actually from?
Originally, if you can't pick it up where I'm originally from,
That's okay.
where I was born and raised.
I love teasing Lisa.
Yep.
Wait, where? I couldn't pick it up. Where are you from?
Boston.
Ah, Boston. All right.
Raised in Boston.
Different accent than Gloucester, for sure.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, Krista Michelle and Lisa Lamont, the Cape Ann Giving Elves. You can find that page on Facebook now and help out. And you can either just do a Venmo stuff or find out how to get goods to them.
You have to find Lisa or Kristen to do the Venmo.
Yeah,
right?
and honestly, if you're on Facebook and you live locally, they're pretty easy to find. You can always
Yeah.
hit me up too, folks, and I can steer you in the right direction too. Or Heather, right? You're on social a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Awesome. Okay, let's get on to our next guests who are doing equally important work as well. We'd love to talk about the Cape Ann Kids Holiday Fund. This is Meg Merland. She is from Action Inc. And Haley McDonald. She is from Pathways for Children.
Hi.
Hi, Meg. Hi, Haley. How are you?
Good. How
Good to
are
see you again.
It's nice
Great.
to see you as always.
All right.
Thanks
so
for
right
having us.
Yeah.
We saw
thank
you last year over Zoom also, I think, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nice to see you in real life.
Great, thank you for having us.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, for those who don't know, what is the Cape Ann Kids Holiday Fund?
okay, well, the Cape Ann Kids Holiday Fund is a collaboration between Action Inc. and Pathways for Children and Wellspring House. And basically what we're doing is we're fundraising to buy gift cards for families so that they can purchase gifts for their children. When we asked the people who took part in it last year, who applied for the gift cards, who were given gift cards, the overwhelming response, over 92% of them said the gift cards were extremely helpful. This way we're able to actually get something off of, our children's Christmas list. Because sometimes during the toy drive, there's just not that
What they
thing
want,
there,
exactly,
right?
that special thing.
Right. So I think that people really responded positively. It really helped them out, and it's as much about the kids, having a sense of wonder and being able to get the toy they want, but it's, in my opinion, as equally about the parents and how they feel about being able to provide for their kids and let their kids know that they know what they like, that they love them, that they hear them. It's, as a parent, that feeling, it's very intense. So hopefully we will be fundraising and raising enough money, and we, provide the gift cards.
So right now we have over 1,000 children signed up from Cape Ann to receive the gift cards. Our distribution days are next Thursday and Friday, so we are gearing up to distribute out 1,000 gift cards next week. We really much, just so families are aware, today is the last day to sign up. So if you want to benefit from this amazing program, please go to capeannkids.org today to be guaranteed that gift card for your child next week.
So last year was the first time you collaborated, the 3 organizations, and that was because of COVID. You couldn't do the toy drives.
Right.
Each of you have your own toy. Wellspring, Action, and Pathways have your
Correct.
own, right? So just to get it to be clear to me, so this year you're doing it because it worked out so well, not because there's any COVID pressure to not have the toy drives.
Yeah,
is that
I mean, I
right?
think partially it's still like we have to plan this early on. It's a big endeavor. So I think that at that point we weren't really sure what was going to be going on in the winter months, and what was going to happen along with with COVID. And yeah, because it worked out so well last year, we loved partnering with each other. And, parents and families really responded positively, and they knew it was a big help. So it's both.
Yeah.
So what's the day-to-day schedule like? I mean, it must be pretty harried at this point, trying to organize everything here and get ready for distribution.
Yes, we've been looking at our watches to say we need to get back to the office. Our phones, I was saying yesterday, are ringing off the hooks right now in terms of families looking for support, and knowing that today is the last day to sign up. So we're returning about 50 calls a day at this point at Pathways, trying to make sure that everybody's on the list by the end of day today.
That portion is a lot of work,
a lot of work.
and Pathways has, the kids and the families there. So they're doing a lot of the fielding those calls, and Wellspring, did a lot of that, fielding those calls last year. And we, set up the website. I mean, there's all, and purchase the gift card. I mean, there's all three organizations are doing equal amounts of work and are very busy. Because outside of the, Cape Ann Kids Holiday Drive, there's a lot going on internally within the agencies around this time of year as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many other, I was even going to bring up fuel assistance at this point, or all the other programs that are benefiting people right now through
Sure.
Pathways. It's amazing stuff that you're all doing too. So once again, the easiest way for people to help out is capeannkids.org.
capeannkids.org, capeannkids.org. If you need to apply, today's the last day. Apply at capeannkids.org. If you are a generous soul and you want to get involved and you want to make a donation, donate at capeannkids.org. We have a great supportive community, and so many people have been so generous, and there are so many donors that, it adds up.
Last year
Easily.
you did so well, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. So people
did.
donate and you purchase the gift cards.
Yes.
Correct.
So they don't have to come to you with gift cards, right?
No,
Yeah.
right. No, we do Visa gift cards for each child. If a family has 3 children, we do 3 gift cards for them, and that way they can shop locally, shop online, whatever they're comfortable with.
That's great.
And we have an amazing partnership with an organization that helps nonprofits, so we don't have to pay for that Visa activation fee. So we're not paying that $4.99 per card. So people don't need to worry about the fact that we are exempt from having to pay that activation fee.
Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
good to know too.
Okay, we know you're both very busy, but quickly, do you want to touch on maybe other things happening at Pathways and other things happening in action this time of year that people need to be cognizant about, or how they can help out?
Certainly. So at Pathways for Children, it's busy. We certainly are. We actually, some of you are aware that we had a flooding issue as a result of the storm. We fully reopened on Tuesday. So that is exciting news for us and for our families that we serve, because that certainly was a challenging element for the families as well as staff as we adapted to the change. So we're very excited about that. If you are interested in programming, we do have options available in some of our Head Start classrooms. So certainly you can always go to pw4c.org to find out what openings there might be, what opportunities are available for you and your family.
So Action's got a lot of things going on, like you mentioned, fuel assistance, that's a major program. A third of Cape Ann is eligible based on their income for it, so we really want people to sign up. It's a help that really gets you through the winter, keeps you warm. So you can go online and look at that at actioninc.org. And then we also have National Homeless Persons Memorial coming up, which is December 21st, the winter solstice, which is the longest night of the year. So that's coming up. Our shelter is always busy. I know Chief Conley was talking about people outdoors. That's a real thing. Harbor Village, housing, all of that stuff that's going on. Huge right now is our Trades Gateway program. Trades Gateway will train you in so many different trades, marine tech, carpentry, HVAC. It's free, and we can work with all income limits, and it will still be free. I mean, there's whatever your income is. If you're interested in a trade, please call us, go to actioninc.org, because we're really excited, and we've got the connections, and it's a great program.
Yeah,
And
that's
these are all
amazing stuff.
locally, the programs are given locally?
Yeah, there's some that
Generally.
are online. There's hybrid models. Some are at Peter. I'm not sure exactly where they are. I know stuff's at some stuff's at the tech, and we just are able to hook people up with that and then pay for it and get them trained. And then we also have a network to help them after they're trained, find a job or an apprenticeship. Just to speak on Wellspring's behalf, because unfortunately Melissa couldn't be with us today, but I know that Wellspring always has a ton of things going on with their, they also have an extensive education program. Their family shelters right now, I'm sure they're focusing a lot on that. So I'd just like to give a shout out to
Absolutely, and probably
Wellspring.
instructors too. They're usually looking for instructors for the adult ed as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I also want to say socks for the emergency shelter too. They're always looking for fresh, clean socks. So okay, so Meg Merlin, Haley McDonald, thanks so much for your time, your efforts, what you're doing for this community, what your organizations are doing. I'm so above and beyond, and you deliver time and time again and over deliver. So it's really been cool getting to chat with you a bit and share this program. The Cape Ann Holiday Kids Fund. CapeAnnKids.org. Today, folks, today.
Yes, today.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great holiday season,
too.
You
ladies.
as well.
Take care.
All right, where are we now, Alana? Oh,
Tracy.
well, guess what happened over the last day or so?
Exactly. The Ward 2 councillor-elect was decided. There was a recount.
Hotly contested.
Yes.
It wasn't really hotly contested.
Well, it
it
was
was so
pretty-
amicable
No.
and friendly.
Hi,
But
Tracy.
we
Hey.
do have Ward 2 councillor-elect Tracy O'Neill in the house.
Good morning, good
How are you,
morning.
Tracy?
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah. Remember the last time we chatted? We did. Thought you might have blacked out.
Yeah.
At City Hall on
Crazy,
election
huh?
night.
Crazy.
How
Yeah.
are you feeling since then?
I feel pretty good. I'm like nervous. I hope I do a good job. You know, I'm going to do the best that I can do, and there's a lot to learn. There's a
I was going to
lot.
ask you about that.
There's a
because-
lot.
Yeah, right.
I printed out the city charter. So I am going to Thailand. I have my oldest boy lives in Thailand with his wife and baby.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And I went there when the baby was born, and then they came here when he was 1, and then COVID hit. And
you
so
haven't
now
seen
he's
him-
3. He's a little person. So I'm leaving on the 14th and coming home on the 28th. So I've got all these balls in the air. So I printed out the city charter, and I've read some of it, and I'll bring it with me to study.
We can already finish that on the flight, I
There's
would
nothing
think.
like a
Yeah.
long flight to do some studying. and
There's a
catch
couple
up.
of
Yeah.
long
Yeah,
flights,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine.
So
And do you have any sort of mentorship or people who are sort of helping
they've
you
all
along?
actually been calling me and offering their, expertise and their help and whatnot. So I think I'm going to. Well, I had to wait till
The recount.
the recount
Yeah.
because I just couldn't get past that. I
Yeah.
just I might not even be counselor. so.
Right, for those tuning in, so the election, November 2nd, Tracy won by 3 votes over incumbent Barry Pett. Barry's a great guy too, and
is.
the race wasn't really a,
No, he's a really good man.
Yeah,
He's a good man.
he
It's
cooperated the
just-
entire way, and it
Yep.
was just that tight.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
did the recount, and it turns out it was actually 2 votes,
votes.
is the official tally. Tracy, that's like one random conversation on a street corner or bumping into someone at the supermarket.
Right,
It's amazing
right.
how,
It is.
you know?
It's like amazing. And I was talking to the city clerk yesterday because I had something I had to sign that I didn't sign. But and she said, that the last time they had a recount was like 10 years ago, and before that it was like 5 years before that. She said, but there's been a lot of recounts in the state this year for some reason, and I think she said Framingham was a tie.
wow.
So there's a no vote, and they have to go to a special election.
Oh my gosh, and that's expensive for
Thank
a community. Yeah.
God,
Wow.
I didn't have to go through that because I feel
No
like
kidding.
Tracy, I would love to talk to you about Ward 2, particularly your
Okay.
neighborhood, because
Okay.
you ran because you were concerned that people in your neighborhood were not being heard.
That's right.
Particularly with the issue of sidewalks, which is such an urban safety issue.
Yep.
So what are the other issues in your neighborhood specifically that you are concerned about?
crosswalks, the crosswalk in front of the Our Lady of Good Voyage Church. On the corner of Taylor and Prospect, it's handicap accessible, but then it crosses Taylor Street and it hits a curb in front of the church. So, and if they could move it up a little bit and make it handicap accessible, one, it would be handicap accessible, and then it would actually give them a couple of parking spaces because the crosswalk takes up a lot of spaces. Police presence would be nice, a little more of that. I've heard there's a lot of drug abuse going on in various parts, so I'm not quite sure what to do about that, but police presence might help that. What else?
Now, the police department is in your ward, I'm thinking, right?
Yes.
Yes,
right.
yeah, fire department too, so.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
so, and the waterfront, and KKN.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're
Luckily,
in your
this
ward
is in
right
your
now.
ward, yeah.
But,
Yeah. And the new school, you have
New
that.
school, yep, and parking is an issue.
Yeah.
So, because of the construction at the new school, I was just told by a resident on Elwell Street, which is at the top of Friend, they park at the school in the winter, and now there's like no parking for
Right.
them, so where are they gonna park? So,
The residents park in the school in the winter. Oh,
because, I
interesting.
mean, it's a congested neighborhood,
Very
and
much,
a lot of people don't have driveways, so they park on the street, which is the way it is.
Right, and an equivalent would be, say, at Commonwealth Ave, those residents in that neighborhood, they park at the high school whenever there's a big
Right.
snowstorm. They're asked,
okay.
it's emergency park.
Right.
I see.
So, I drive by the school every day, multiple times a day, so I'm looking. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The construction company has 2 big white trailers on the site. So I'm trying to think of how many cars could fit there if they move their trailers. Keep them on the site, but
Right.
that might be an option, because they're on flat land, so
You're already kicking up dust,
I was going to say,
Tracy.
I think it's great to have
You
you
haven't
more
even gone to
counseling.
Thailand
Yeah,
yet.
you drive in the neighborhood.
this is why my knuckles are so from biting. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's my residents, they need to park.
Yeah.
And Middleton Playground is half a parking lot and half a playground. They took over that, and they're not gonna take over the playground part.
Right,
Yeah, right, right.
That will not happen.
right.
So-
And how about, well, Carl McKay
Yep.
and Robin Hubbard and you, to a certain extent, really campaigned on the fact that you felt like citizens were not being heard
That's
by
right.
the council. So what will you do to address that?
I will listen to them. My handouts or my flyers that I gave to people have my home phone and my cell phone, and I will return phone calls. I will return emails. You know, I had somebody call me on my home phone and left a message that she was trying to find a ride for someone, which I don't know what I could have done, and I didn't get the message till 9 o'clock at night, but, so this is things I have to learn at different agencies that can help people
Good
if
point.
they need a ride, or if they, you know, whatever.
right.
At, I don't know what time they called though, because I didn't get home till 8 or 9, so.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've got to learn the different agencies in town and stuff like that, you know, just help the people of the ward. And they paved Trask Street, and they paved half of Warner Street. As far as I know, the other half isn't paved, so I got to find out why that is. I'm sure there's a good reason. But, you know, just, these are the people who voted for me, and these are the people I talked to, and they listened, and I listened to them, and so I won by 2 points. I can't believe it. Yeah,
It is
so-
crazy. And in the
yeah.
meantime, you still have O'Neill Fitness.
Oh, yes,
You're-
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you're in business
Yeah.
full-time.
Yeah, yeah.
Over on the Commons. And
Yeah.
you were the next door neighbor of KKN.
KKN, that's
Yeah.
why I'm here. And
Yeah.
she left me.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, she left
Yeah.
me. And I tell her every time I come in. So sometimes I just come in for coffee and, you know, kibitzen, because I miss her. I miss her and the kids and Jeremy, and yeah, they're a fun group. They really are. They're a happy little group.
Yeah. And it's a
So-
great spot up at the Commons too. A lot of great businesses there
Yeah.
side by side
Yep.
over there.
Yeah.
Has anyone stepped into the KCAN space?
Not yet,
No, okay.
not that I know of, so
right.
I haven't seen anyone,
Yeah.
so.
But soon,
Yeah.
it'll happen.
Yeah.
So Tracy, you have to take off, we understand?
I do have to take off,
Okay, that's
but thank
fine.
you so much
Yeah.
for the invitation.
Kettlebells this
and-
morning, is that what you were doing?
Kettlebells, yeah, kettlebells,
Bells.
kettlebells.
Kettlebells.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we'll say congratulations
Thank you
on
so
the official
much.
naming, and we'll see you at Inauguration Day.
Oh, right.
And enjoy Thailand.
Yeah, have a great
And your
trip.
grandson, daughter?
My
gra-
grandson, yeah, he's
awesome.
3. He'll be 3
Yeah.
December 11th, so he's a little person now.
You have to see him.
Yeah, and I've been FaceTiming with him, and sometimes he, you know, is really engaged, and sometimes he isn't, so
Yeah.
can't wait to see him in person.
I know, it'll be so much
Yeah,
fun.
because right now I'm a cartoon character or something on the phone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
All right, I'll let you go.
No, that's
All right,
okay. Thank you so
you.
much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy your day.
Thanks, Cory. Take
And we'll
care.
probably see you before the holidays or talk to you, I guess. Well,
Come back
14th
on
comes up
28th.
soon. Yeah. Okay, we'll catch
And then you'll
up.
hit the ground running, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Tracy.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Tracy O'Neill, she is going to be the Ward 2 counselor starting off in January. That was a fun show. We're done,
It
right?
was a fun show.
That's
It
that.
was, yeah.
And we have cupcakes to get into.
And we will.
The veggie
yeah.
galettes for Becky.
No.
And then
Oh, it is? I
Yeah,
like
and then
that.
we'll split the cupcake.
Okay, all right.
I got a scowl behind the mask.
Yeah, I
So.
saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I guess
Okay.
I can't have that veggie galette.
Other news we want to share with you folks too is what's going on this weekend as far as holiday activities. In Gloucester, you have Deck the Docks at Maritime Gloucester running through December 6th. That goes from noon to 6 every day there. There's a lot going on in Manchester by the Sea this week, and the holiday stroll starts tonight from 4 to 8 all throughout downtown Manchester. You'll see all the places are decked out now. It's gorgeous down there. Santa arrives by boat tomorrow at Masconomo Park at 1 p.m. At the same time, he's also arriving by boat at T-Wharf and Rockport.
It's amazing how he does that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really incredible.
Also-
Mirrors. It's all mirrors.
Yeah, and also in Manchester on the 5th, the Christmas concert will be at the Town Hall Green, and that'll be followed by the lighting of the Friendship Tree at the Town Common. And Rockport tonight starts their Rockport shopping nights. I believe I will be there live walking throughout
Oh, you will?
downtown Rockport. Yeah, I got that
come
phone
say
call
hi.
earlier. Yeah, do that. We can go live with me if you want.
Yeah.
I told you about Santa arriving by boat on Saturday at 1. The tree lighting will follow that around 4 o'clock at Dock Square. And same with the Seagull, the scavenger hunt. That was a big success last year. That's going from now through the 19th. And in Essex, there is a wreath decorating workshop at the Shipbuilding Museum tonight from 4 to 6. So there is that,
Well, we would like to thank all our guests today.
except the ones who didn't show up.
Okay, show me. Oh, yeah,
That
right.
one,
We're not.
She who didn't come.
Yeah.
He wasn't here. That changed, so there you go.
So there are a few people we're not thanking. But we definitely want to thank Inga McCarthy, who is hosting us here at Cake Ann today, and Lenny Linquata, who is really also hosting us because this is the Gloucester House. We want to thank Meg Merlin and Haley McDonald from the Cape Ann Kids Holiday Fund.
Yes.
Right? And Kristen Michelle and Lisa Lamont from the Cape Ann Elves.
Giving Elves,
Giving
yes.
Elves. Tracy O'Neill, who is the counselor-elect, Ward 2 counselor-elect, and of course, Chief Ed Conley, the chief of the Gloucester Police Force. Our crew today, we definitely want to thank them. David Lefkin is not with us today.
No, feel better, David. We'll see you next
we're
week,
sad
hopefully.
About that. But Alana Horn did a fabulous job keeping us on schedule. And our staff is always here helping us with everything. Production manager Becky Coyle and technical director Matt McMakin. Our executive director is Eric Archer. The next shows, the next Cape Ann Today live shows will be Friday, December 10th at the Beauport Hotel.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Fun. And Friday, December 17th at Cape Ann Animal Aid, where the first time we did that show, I got my little kitten Bean, and she's the best.
That's right, and I got this shirt exactly scratched up like crazy because I had a puppy on my shoulder the whole time. I figured I'd wear it again, so awesome. Okay, have a great job again.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Cory. You
crew. Thanks, Inga and Cake Ann and Lenny in the Gloucester House and everyone who helped us here today.
And
Come
now
down to
it's-
63 Roger Street in downtown Gloucester, and hopefully we'll see you next Friday live from the Beauport Hotel. And we talked to a lot of important people today. There's a lot of great fundraising activities going on, charitable activities. So help out where you can. This community always rallies together, so it's just cool to be a part of. So we will see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.